let's go Red River. I really thought I was going to be on Oklahoma here. I thought the spread would be too high. Power ratings got updated this past weekend. I made it 14 on the dot. Thought I would sit back, maybe see if a 13.5 popped. It never popped. I think it might still pop, but I would probably hit it again. I like the Longhorns that much. Now, Quinn Ewers is back. He has been flawless in a crowded pocket this season. He's been great with pressure. So even if Oklahoma is able to get some past this offensive line, he's been great. Plethora of targets for this Longhorns offense right now, led by Matthew Golden and Isaiah Bond. Ewers is going to go up against cover three against the secondary for the Sooners, is what they run for coverage when they go in zone, which is most of the time. Ewers last year dominated cover three, 58% success rate, explosive pass on 1 of every 4 attempts. You go and look, I know Texas lost this game last year. Quinn Ewers still went for 346 yards, 31 of 37 passing. I'm not questioning Quinn Ewers coming into this game. Now, the rushing attack, top 20 in success rate, but the Texas offensive line is 72nd in line yards. So what that tells you is that Jaden Blue, Jared Gibson, Quintero Wisner, they have created highlight yards. The running backs are doing work here. Defensive havoc is the reason that OU beat Auburn. They were whipped that entire game. You get a Kip Lewis pick 6 and it crushed Stuck and I. So I don't see that happening here. Quinn Ewers was really good against this defense last year. Same coverage aspect. Quinn's proved it over a lot of games of what he can do against this. Now, on the other side of the ball, they really haven't faced an offense in the top 60 per SP plus, but the Michigan game is a perfect template for what is about to happen here, right? Do we expect Oklahoma to throw? No. Everybody's still hurt.
I mean, Burks is out. Yeah, Burks just got announced out. And by the way, Michigan at least can run the ball a bit.
Yeah.
Oklahoma can't run it. I still think that's the way you attack Texas in the future, right? But you have to have a competent passing attack, right? That they respect. Against Michigan, they didn't respect it. They can shut Michigan down. And then you can really test Texas and the loss of Sweat and Murphy. Well, you don't really have to respect the Oklahoma passing attack, and Oklahoma can't run it. So how do they keep up with Texas unless the defense has just a superhuman effort, which is it's hard to envision them keeping Texas in check. By the way, I would lean under here. Not sure I can get there because I tweeted out, remind me last year, and I bookmarked it and put it on my calendar. I said, remind me not to ever bet a Red River under again in my life. I mean, if you looked at some of these scores lately, they're all like 45-40, 50-45, 53. I had the worst luck in this game, by the way. Remember that I lost Texas plus 7.5 and triple overtime.
Yeah, that was rough. That was a rough one.
Painful losses of my life. So I would lean under, but because how's Oklahoma going to move it?
I think
they have time to prepare to go after. They know Hawkins. Hey, spy him. We can't let him beat him with his legs. What else does Oklahoma do here?
I think the better bet is the Oklahoma team total under, because I don't know if Sark wants to stop scoring. And I think the handicap. So the reason why I waited on this number is because I wanted to know the wide receivers. And you mentioned it, like Burke, soft tissue, gone. Andrew Anthony, a setback, more surgery. Jalil Farouk just came out of a boot. You seen people that come out of a boot? They ain't running fly routes and go routes down the field. What's the rest of this offense? You mentioned it. Success rate, 123rd, both passing and running. Like, they're not going to be able to run the ball. They're 128 in success rate in passing downs. They get behind the chains. OU gets even worse. So I think one thing that I want to touch on about why Texas is for real a national title contender. Me and Steve Sarkisian had a conversation at SEC Media Days, cash your tickets. I said, why can't you score in the red zone? Where's the touchdowns? We just don't have Roschon. We don't have Bijan. I said, do you have any options? I got 24 options here during practice, and we got to figure out who it is. Let's go and look right now what's going on. 12 different players have scored a touchdown for Texas. I believe 8 of them have scored at least 2 touchdowns. There are so many options that are getting into the red zone, and getting touchdowns in the red zone. This team is touchdown crazy. Sark is in his bag, and he has so many options on this offense. Listen, I'm not disrespecting Danny Stutzman and the defense for OU, but it's like Tennessee. You just can't hold it up. You're not going to be able to cover with this. You're not going to be able to score with this. And things like Auburn are going to continue to happen when your offense continues to be bottom 10 in the nation, no matter what it does. Give me Texas here. If you want to be patient, look for a 13.5. I do think there's just going to be enough OU in here. This is way too big of a number, but I think 14 is the number I'd fire on.
Yeah, and look, Oklahoma's defense, they might have been gassed, but Auburn put up like 300 yards in the first half. And then after seeing Tennessee against Arkansas, maybe that effort wasn't as great. For what it's worth, a couple nuggets on this game. First Red River rivalry, it's an SEC game. So finally, this game just means more. But that feels weird to say. It also won't be at noon, which is very odd.
Yeah, that's weird.
So an SEC game between Texas and Oklahoma that's not at noon.
But you know what that
Times
means?
are
Like
changing.
everybody get drunk, right? There's going to be a more rowdy crowd of drunkenness.
Yeah, it should be an awesome atmosphere as always. Biggest favorite, Texas, the biggest favorite they've been in this series since 2005 when they won the national title. Hooked them.